Good day. Good morning.
And good fucking yard.
Good pre-noon. Good afternoon. And good evening.
All that shit.
Welcome to Summon Greater Podcast.
A podcast about homebrew and homies, god damn it.
This week it's just the two of us.
Yeah.
We're all out of homies.
Well, homies aren't here.
And that's on us.
It is, truly. We will get them here soon.
It's also because we're in a unit of sorts.
It's true.
Last week we left you
focused.
talking about, what's the name of this book? The Game Master's
It's a
Book
good
of
one.
Legendary
Trust
Dragons.
us.
I have it right in front of me. It's been great. We've been having a fantastic time with it.
Break your computer, Jesus.
My computer, it's past its prime.
That's fair.
This thing is the 1989 Ford Taurus I was driving in high school.
Same.
Yeah.
I feel that.
Was that thing in 89? Am I a couple years off?
I don't know.
I don't know.
I feel like Tauruses have been around forever.
I think it was more like 90 or 91.
Yeah, it could be.
Regardless, this is a pretty big episode for this book, okay? Because we're talking about the class that it introduces, the Dragon Rider. If you are a fan of How to Train Your Dragon, you're going to love this one.
Yeah.
If you're not, I need you to watch all 3 movies. The show's not a requirement. I haven't seen any of it. And if you're watching this after the live action movies come out, please watch the originals.
Mm-hmm. We can make no guarantee for how good the live action is.
I'm sure that it will be better than the slew of Disney live action products that we've been served in the last decade.
I gotta say, man, it cannot possibly be worse than the live action Aragon movie.
Well, of course not.
Aragon fans did so dirty.
See, that occupied the same space that like Sonic 06 did in the time it came out.
Yeah.
Like that is the Sonic 06 of movies.
It's true. Well, before I spiral into a dark depression that Aragon cannot bring me out of,
It put you there.
No, I'm talking about the actual story.
I see.
Because they didn't tell the actual story.
No.
They made up something else and gave it Aragon's title, and that was annoying. But anywho, dragons.
Dragon.
Yeah. Like Sam said, this is because it's a full class, is just incredible. I there's no other words for it. Like it's so freaking cool. There's so much to talk about.
Yes, and we're very excited to dive all the way into it. And a little bit beyond even. You're gonna want to hear all the interesting maneuvers, perhaps, that you can do.
Mm-hmm.
But before we get all the way in, we gotta talk about our Summon Greater soundtrack picks for the week.
It's true, we do. We have music.
Mine this week is one I throw on quite a bit when I'm monologuing in my head, and I think this one is the most universally applicable pick that I've brought to the table for this segment. This is called Panoramic Feelings. I forgot who. Ludovic. It could be either. I'm leaning toward Ludovic because it looks like Ludwig and no other reason.
Hell yeah. One way or the other, people will be able to find it.
This is a great one to throw over any emotional conversation. Not any of them. I wouldn't throw it over an angry one. I would specifically put this over like a confession of feelings, romantic or otherwise, an apologetic moment. I would put this over just a simple heart to heart. And I say that because last night we had a very good session, a very, very good session.
Yes. Oh my God. Yes.
We got, I would say kidnapped, but like not quite. We got kind of,
we were wrongfully imprisoned.
Yeah. We got arrested for BS reasons, and then tortured just a little bit.
Yeah, that was weird.
And then came out the other side with allies in high places, which is great.
Mm-hmm.
But there was a big debriefing at the end of it, and it was very sweet and fruitful, and just like was a very nice way to wrap up that session. And the whole time, there were a few heart-to-hearts going on, and I had this song in my head the whole time. I just felt like it fit very well.
Mine today is nowhere near as broad. Very, very like specific feelings from this song. It is called "What Have You Become" by MNQN. Beautiful song. The whole purpose of it is kind of in the title of the song. What have you become? It is a song about like realization of I'm no longer the good guy. I'm no longer a good person. I've turned into something worse. I've turned into something scarier. Any number of different applications for that specific emotional scene there. What really struck me was a player character meeting back up with an ally or a friend or someone, and realizing like they've changed, maybe because you had to leave them behind and they never forgave you or something like that. Like there's a lot that this could apply to within a very narrow field. Mm-hmm. But it's called "What Have You Become" by MNQN.
Have you also brought a song here before called "What Have I Become"?
I think so.
Okay, that's so funny. I was concerned at first that like last episode you might have done this exact one, but I felt like it was different because I remember the artist being different.
No, you'll notice this is definitely a theme that I really enjoy in my music.
Yeah.
So I do have a lot of songs that are very similar to this.
Sick.
If I did one that is very, very similar last episode,
yeah.
I apologize, but not really, because I love them. So
I mean, you can hammer on a theme. There's nothing against that.
Oh yeah.
I'm not kidding about the How to Train Your Dragon thing. By the way, this is like very how to train your dragon coded. Okay.
Yeah, very much so.
Let's talk about creating it. When creating your Dragon Rider character, consider the relationship with your dragon companion as an integral part of the story. Have you always wanted to be a Dragon Rider, or was this something thrust upon you unexpectedly? What was the process of receiving or choosing the companion? Discuss with your GM the role Dragon Riders play in the world, how common they are, etc. Refer to the Dragon Companion section for more info. Okay, we'll get there. You're proficient in strength and wisdom saves. For tools, you get leatherworkers tools. That is important.
Yeah,
because actually, you do be leatherworking.
You do be making saddles and shit.
Yes, you be making saddles and probably like armor and stuff, dude.
Yeah, I think the one thing that stands out to me the most about just like generic features of the class itself, most of the time when you're looking at a class in D&D, you can kind of scan through it and be like, okay, this class needs me to spec into these one or two specific stats. Mm-hmm. Like rogue, you need to be dexterous. You need to have a little bit of charisma, or not need to, but could have a little bit of charisma. Like there's primary and secondary kinds of like abilities that the classes use. The interesting thing about Dragon Rider is that there's not. You can build your Dragon Rider pretty broadly.
It's a pretty open book.
Mm-hmm.
That said, I think the skills that you're given access to when choosing proficiencies are extremely appropriate and also span stat categorizations pretty well.
Yeah.
You can choose between athletics, acrobatics, stealth, nature, animal handling, perception, and intimidation.
Yeah.
I think these are excellent.
They fit really, really well.
Yeah, very thematic.
Yeah. Good theme.
Let's get into it. At first level, you're granted a dragon companion. The stats, abilities, and rules for this companion are in the Dragon Companion section. We talked about some dragons in the game last episode. We did not talk about companions. We may have to get into them a little bit.
Well, the point of the Dragon Companion with this one is it's exclusive to this class. So the Dragon Companions are a little bit further in here.
Yeah. I'm saying we'll have to bring them up later and touch on them a little bit.
Absolutely.
You may communicate telepathically with your companion while they're within a mile of you.
Oh, really?
That's fairly unique. This is at first level, by the way.
Damn, I like that. This is just...
You get super familiar.
I was going to say, I'm so sorry to all of my original D&D 2014 Rangers out there. This is just better Ranger.
Damn. Damn.
Yeah.
It is better, right? I mean, like, we talked about it being an open book. It's like such a broad take on Ranger.
Yeah. I mean, it's like they looked at Ranger, they took away the spell casting, and they went, we're going to give you something better and more unique.
Yeah. We're not even done with first level, because also at first level, you get one of your subclasses.
Oh, shit. At first level?
At first level.
Ooh, I like that. That's nice.
There's only two. We'll get into them. At second, you adopt a fighting style. You can pick between archery, great weapon fighting, dueling, and 2-weapon fighting.
I would imagine, obviously talk to your GM. I would imagine you can probably use any of the fighting styles that are available to fighters, because since this book has been published, additional fighting styles have been added to D&D. So I would imagine talk to your GM. They'll probably let you pick from one of the other ones. Like if you really wanted to be an unarmed fighting dragon rider.
I was going to ask if there was one in particular that prompted you to say that.
Mainly just the shortness of this list. I know there's more.
Yeah. I mean, I would consider you to be pretty limited while mounted.
Yeah, well mounted, but that's the thing. And we'll get more into this. You don't actually get to be mounted until later levels.
That's true. That's very true.
So, and you don't have to fight while on your dragon's back.
You
can send them around.
I do feel like these are the ones that would service being mounted best.
Yeah.
So I wonder if that's kind of the reasoning behind the short list here.
That could very well be.
Yeah. At third level, you've begun to train extensively with your dragon. You can buy or use 10 GP worth of leather and spend 8 hours creating a saddle for your dragon and gain the ability to ride them while they're walking.
Yeah. So now you have land dragon.
Land dragon. You will not be off the ground for a little bit. This is like getting the scale flight module in Xenoblade X.
He's still a little guy.
I filled my quota.
Okay. I don't know what that means, but good for you.
It means you can't actually fly the mech until a little bit later in the game.
Okay.
Starting at third level, you also gain 3 maneuver points, and you may choose 3 dragon maneuvers from the maneuvers section.
Dragon maneuvers,
If the maneuver requires a target creature to make a saving throw, the DC equals 8 plus your companion's strength modifier. Your companion's strength modifier, that is.
Yeah.
Plus your proficiency bonus, unless specified otherwise.
I love this so much, not to interrupt you in the middle of your paragraph, but that means it has not 1, but 2 scaling modifiers for the DC. And I think that's really fucking cool.
Yes, that's a big number, no matter what.
Yeah.
You gain an additional one at 6th, then again at 10th, 14th, and 18th. And you gain an additional maneuver point each time you gain another level of Dragon Rider.
Oh, so you have a number of points equal to your level, basically.
Yeah.
Huh. I genuinely thought you got less than that.
You get the extra attack at 5th level. That's very nice to have, no matter what. Mm-hmm. At 6th level, you've become extremely comfortable on the back of your dragon companion, and now you may ride it while it flies. Ooh. I'm glad that's at 6th and no later.
Yeah, it's not like some crazy high level thing that you...
In addition, each of your attacks deals +1 damage while mounted.
Ooh. That's cool.
Yeah.
See, okay, and I'll get more into this later, but I've always wanted to play a stealth dragon rider, like a dex-based archery.
Brother,
Dragon Rider.
I'm seeing room for that kind of build in here.
Yeah, absolutely. And there's way more reasoning for that a little bit later. But it's so good.
At 9th level, you gain advantage on initiative checks. Wholesale.
Just straight up advantage.
Yeah.
I like it.
At 10th level, you know what? There's a lot of things I'm realizing that just make use of the fact that there are 2 of you.
Yeah.
And I'm loving
it. That's exactly it. That's why you have advantage on initiative. It's really good.
At 10th level, you can spend 8 hours and 25 gold worth of leather to craft an improved saddle. With this saddle, it only costs 5 meter movement to mount and dismount, and you can no longer be involuntarily dismounted.
Oh, dude, see,
you're locking in, bro.
That's so good, because that would be like one of the primary things that I'm sure GMs would be like, I can knock you off your dragon. You can fall damage, but no more. No more DMs.
You got to be able to craft Hiccup's wingsuit.
Oh, bro. Oh, my God. That would be such a good maneuver.
It's like
something that you could do later.
Yeah.
Oh, this book's so good.
Also at 10th, you can choose one tier 1 dragon maneuver that you've learned already to be your signature maneuver. The signature maneuver may be performed once between a short or long rest without expending any maneuver points.
Oh, hell yeah, dude. Okay, I love so much how they're kind of pulling from so many other different like D&D classes that exist. Already.
Yeah.
We've got the sorcery points coming into play. Here we see wizard signature spell.
It was very good.
It's so good.
At 13th level, you may use a short rest to mend the wounds of your dragon companion. Any hit dice you expend during a short rest also heal the dragon for that same amount.
Love that.
At 14th level, you've nearly perfected aerial combat. While mounted, each of your attacks deals +3 additional damage, as a total of 4. And you score a critical hit on a 19 or higher.
Damn.
Yeah, dude. Quite good, quite good.
That's insane.
At 17th level, you may use a bonus action to target a creature you can see, and your dragon companion becomes fixated on that target. While a creature is targeted in this way, all attacks made by you and your companion have advantage and deal an extra weapon die damage. Deal an additional weapon die of damage. Okay.
Yeah. So like if you're rolling a longsword and you're swinging two-handed with the D8, you get 2d8.
You get 2d8 there. It's cool. In addition, we're doubling again.
Yeah.
There's so much of that. In addition, opportunity attacks against the creature no longer require a reaction, but are still limited to only 1 attack.
Whoa.
Isolated prey isolated prey is this ability. It lasts for a minute or until the creature is killed.
Opportunity attacks not taking a reaction is insane.
That's a little silly.
Now, I will say that's at 17th level.
Yeah, we're getting high up.
We're getting very high up there. We do not yet know what other reactions this class can take.
Yeah.
So,
well, I'm guessing we're going to get into those in the maneuvers.
Yeah.
That's how it's feeling.
Probably.
At 18th level, your previously chosen signature maneuver is perfected and no longer costs maneuver points at all.
Damn.
In addition, you select a maneuver from any tier to be your second signature maneuver, including the dragon maneuver gained at this level.
Wow.
And then at 20th level, we get to, of course, Master Rider. Your bond with your companion becomes unbreakable. While mounted, you and your companion have advantage on all saving throws. Your telepathic bond persists as long as you are on the same plane. You're no longer limited to a mile.
Bro.
In addition, if you have 0 maneuver points upon rolling initiative, you start your turn with 5. Funny stuff, dude.
That's fucking crazy. Oh, man. Now, I will say the one downside to this is you don't have a lot of non-combat abilities in here. But who gives a fuck? Because D&D is about combat. That's why we're here.
It's about crying with your friends, brother.
Things. Yeah. That too. crying at the table with your friends, but I want to kill things. And this is how you do it with this class.
Mm-hmm.
You can pretty easily come up with non-combat niches or things using skills and whatever. Like, role play is only as strong as the player, not necessarily the class giving you
That's
abilities in that. Although being a rogue or bard or something like that does give you additional things you can do. But
I feel like as far as like the text setting you up for roleplay, it's doing a lot of that with your companion.
that is super fair. Yeah. God, I gotta stop thinking of this in terms of a singular being. Because you're not.
It's true. And it's built upon that very, very nicely, I have to say.
Mm-hmm.
Let's talk about our 2 subclasses here.
Oh, yeah.
I've got opinions,
Yep.
but you're going to hear about those in a second. The first subclass here is the Dragon Knight. If you choose this subclass at first level, your bond with your companion bolsters your fortitude. You gain proficiency in heavy armor. Cool stuff.
Mm-hmm.
At third level, you gain 3 max HP and 1 additional max HP for each level you gain in Dragon Rider.
So kind of like the tough feat, basically. Pseudo tough.
Yes. At 7th level, when you deal damage to a creature, you may deal additional damage equal to your Dragon Rider level. Tooth and Claw, this ability is Tooth and Claw. It recharges at a short or long rest.
That's not bad.
It's not bad, but I feel like you could put this on so many different things. It feels extremely non-specific.
Yeah, that's the problem, is that it is on different things. It's on Goblin. It's Fury of the Small.
It's a very funny name.
It is a very funny name. I love Fury of the Small. But like, Fury of the Small is an ability for a Dragon Rider?
I'm feeling like you could put this on any old fighter or barbarian subclass.
Yeah. This does not spark joy. That one specifically.
Draconic ability. At 11th level, your bond with your companion enhances your fortitude beyond natural capabilities. Choose either strength or constitution. That ability's maximum is increased to 22.
I like this. I think I would like it more if it also gave you a +1 to that skill that you choose.
As far as like saving throws?
No, like a feat. Like if you were to take a feat that gives you like an increase to your ability score.
Mm-hmm.
Like instead of saying when you choose either strength or constitution, that maximum is increased.
Yes, I agree.
And you get a +1 bonus to that ability.
I agree with that.
I think that'd be cool.
That said, this gives you reason to take the ability score increase.
It does. I'm greedy and impatient.
Sure.
And I want to scale with my dragon companion.
I hear that.
I just love feats too much. Unironically, I don't think a single one of my characters that I have played in any of the campaigns we've been in together has ever taken ability score increase instead of a feat.
What? Ever?
Ever. I think.
How do you live?
I think the only exception to that is Ito, because he, as a fighter, you get more ability score increases naturally.
Oh.
So Ito,
That's
I think,
crazy,
took one,
man.
I think Ito took 1 ASI.
Wow.
Most
I think
of
I've
my other-
typically taken like 2 feats, maybe 3.
Really?
Yeah.
So you just go like full ability all the way through.
A lot of the not full ability, but like I'm very sparing with the feats I pick. Like very, very intentional about the build.
See, that's really interesting. We may have to get into that a little bit more later. But because I usually go with feats based on what feats increase ability scores intrinsically.
Mm-hmm.
So like I'm taking feats like telepathic and telekinetic if I am a spellcaster or something like that. I'm taking Oh man, one of my favorite feat combos that I've discovered and kind of been trying to aim towards with certain characters is Sentinel plus Polearm Master, or plus I don't even remember, but yeah, like I use the feats kind of to make my build, and I take a lot of them.
Speaking of scale, at 15th level, whenever you roll a strength check or strength saving throw, you may add a d6 to the total. That's strength of scale.
And see, that one, I like that.
Mm-hmm.
That feels more like, your companionship with your dragon companion is actually paying dividends.
Yeah. Yeah. This feels like a pseudo increase to your strength score.
Yeah. Very much so. In like a reactionary type. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
A volatile kind of way, I suppose.
That's a good way to put it.
Aura of Dominance is the last one. At 19th level, you become a bulwark of draconic power. You may use an action to gain resistance to all types of damage for 1 minute. During that time, all of your weapon attacks deal an additional weapon die of the damage type appropriate to your dragon companion. Your Aura of Dominance recharges after a short rest.
Resistance to all damage for a minute can be pretty good.
A minute's a long time.
A minute's a long time. And during that time, all your weapon attacks deal an additional weapon die of the damage type appropriate to your dragon companion. So that could be like cold, necrotic, fire, blah, 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 blah. Blueberry, custard.
I just learned about those yesterday.
I think we saw the same video. It's so funny. Custard damage and blueberry damage are a thing in D&D.
Mm-hmm.
You should look them up. But yeah, I think the important thing to remember for Aura of Dominance is that the additional damage die, that's not the only one you have. Looking at the standard class features, if I may direct your attention back.
Please.
If you target something with your isolated prey ability, which like zeroes your dragon companion in on them, you and your companion, your attacks deal an additional weapon die of damage. So like if you stack, you have isolated prey up, and then you hit that Aura of Dominance, or vice versa, do it in any order, you're now doing 2 additional damage die, and you have your extra attack. It could stack up.
Maybe this is the vision. Maybe we're starting to pick it apart here. Maybe it's like you've got to coordinate with your guy, with your dragon, for maximum damage output.
The thing that I want to find out, and we will a few pages later here, is does your dragon attack on its own? Or does your dragon like require your turn to do something?
This is worth figuring out now.
Because if your dragon can act on its own and like just act after you do in combat.
I'll tell you right now. Okay.
Yeah.
Your companion operates on your initiative and shares your action. On your turn, you may command them to move, take the dash, dodge, disengage actions without sacrificing any movement or action of your own. You can command them to attack, but you must sacrifice one of your attacks for each attack they take. So there's a trade-off. But remember, you get an extra attack at level 5.
Yeah, you do have 2 attacks. That's kind of a bummer. I understand it. I definitely understand it. Again, I'm greedy and impatient. I want my dragon to also be able to do things while I'm doing things. But I understand why that would be stupid broken. So I'll let this one go, I guess. No, I just think you mentioned this in passing while we were just reviewing everything. That Dragonite just doesn't feel as impactful as it could. I very much agree with that.
We'll see. We have quite a bit more to get into.
There is a lot more to get into. It's just like the specific abilities from Dragonite, like Tooth and Claw, where once per short rest, you can deal an extra amount of damage equal to your Dragon Rider level. And Aura of Dominance, like, they're good. They're not bad abilities. It's just Tooth and Claw, I don't really even see myself using all that often.
Right.
Because
You got to really remember to pop that one. I think.
and like that ability is not going to be until you hit like level 15 and higher.
Yeah.
That ability is not going to turn the tide of battle.
No.
Like that's just like okay, let me get a little bit more damage in.
It would be meaningful, I think, if it was affected by things that give you an extra damage die.
Yeah, if it's scaled a little bit differently.
I think just the flat damage that it gives you isn't quite enough.
No, I would agree.
Now, did it said damage equal to your Dragon Rider level? It didn't say damage of your dragon's damage type, and I wish it was that.
That would make it cooler.
It would make it a lot cooler.
Mm-hmm. No, I think it just straight up adds to whatever damage type you dealt. It just adds to that.
Yeah.
And like Aura of Dominance, I know I sound like I'm nagging and nitpicking so bad. Aura of Dominance is cool. Resistance to all damage for 1 minute, very strong. Barbarians get that at like 5th level.
I feel like
the Bear Totem Barbarian gets resistance to all damage except Psychic. It's just...
I said this earlier before we started recording, but it feels a little vanilla to me.
Yeah, that's exactly it.
I'm going to once again refer to the damage type of the dragon. I feel like I would be more agreeable to this. It would have more impact and flavor to me, rather. If you gain resistance to all damage, you can keep that. Add immunity to your dragon's damage type.
See, that would immediately take this from to really fucking cool.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it's a level 19 ability. I think you should be able to get an immunity.
We're talking about crazy stuff at that point,
Right.
especially in the environment that we're playing in with 2024 rules.
Right. Well, and especially also looking at comparable 19th and 20th level abilities, like take your Paladin, for example. I know theirs is 20th level, so it's 1 level higher, but most Paladins at level 20 get some like fucking exalted form based on their oath, and they do tons more than this.
Mm-hmm.
Tons more. And obviously, like you said, we still have to get into the maneuvers, and there are other things that the Dragon Rider can do. But Aura of Dominance, for this specifically, I love your idea. Adding in immunity to your companion's damage type. I think that's all it needs.
Yeah.
That would fix it.
Mm-hmm. Not to say this subclass is bad by any means.
Yeah. No.
Like I said, I see a vision. I started getting it partway through there. But it just could use a little boost in my opinion.
You know, a little.
Oof. I don't mean to be this mean about the content. So I promise you, I'm not going to be so uncharitable with Dragon Outrider. I like this one a lot. If you pick this subclass at first level, your bond with your companion sharpens your senses. You gain proficiency in perception. If you've already got that, you gain expertise. Of course.
Right away, just incredible. Perception's so good.
Perception Dragon.
And expertise in that, so good. Love it.
It's already got me thinking Night Fury, you know?
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
You feel me. At 3rd level, you and your companion gain dark vision out to a range of 120 feet.
Night Fury.
Quite good. At 7th, your companion gains the ability to dash as a bonus action, and any stealth checks made while mounted gain advantage.
That's insane.
That's crazy. That's crazy. Stealthy Dragon is crazy.
Stealthy Dragon is absolutely crazy.
But mounted advantage in mounted stealth.
Yeah.
Is like kind of, it feels like an exponential buff to me, you know?
Especially when you consider, and also this is at 7th level, that's pretty early. When you consider most stealth missions, a lot of people will say, oh, send the rogue, send someone small, someone quiet. No one's going to say stealth mission, send a dragon. Like, how badass would it be to like fucking sneak into someone's like keep or castle or something and just have your fucking dragon hanging from the ceiling?
Yeah.
Like,
you could put together some haunting stuff there.
Absolutely.
I'm into it. At 11th level, your bond with your companion enhances your scouting abilities beyond natural capacity. Choose either dexterity or wisdom. That ability's maximum is increased to 22. We are mirroring, of course.
Again, would love to have that increased as well by 1, but still cool.
Can't complain too much. Take aim. At 15th level, your bond with your companion enhances your accuracy. Once per turn, the Dragon Outrider may choose to reroll 1 attack that misses.
Once per turn. Once per turn.
This is a lot more impactful than Strength of Scale.
Yeah.
Just adding the D6 to your strength saving throws and strength checks.
Let's be totally honest with ourselves. Those are not the most prominently used checks and saves.
No.
Missing an attack, though, when you have 2 of those per turn.
Wow.
And you can just re-roll one of them.
Per turn is so crazy. I actually can't get past that, man.
I know.
That's so good.
I know.
Like, were I building this, I would have had, maybe 3 charges per short rest.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. Most of the time when you see something like this, it's once per short rest, you can re-roll something. Per turn. This is the reason why Dragon Knight feels like it needs more.
Yeah.
Because Dragon Outrider fucking takes it to Pound Town with abilities.
You need Aura of Dominance at really at 15th level or so for me to consider it in place of this.
Yeah, you need Aura of Dominance to survive the Outrider.
I think you do. Aura of Agility. Speaking of auras, at 19th level, you may use an action to massively enhance your quickness and accuracy. For 1 minute, the movement speed of you and your companion, is doubled, and you may make an additional attack per attack action.
Jesus!
That's 3. Aura of Agility may be used once per long rest. Keep in mind, of course, like we said earlier, the Dragon Companion clause that we read allows you to replace your attacks on your attack action with those of the dragon. So adding a third at any point in time, even though it's late at 19th level, quite good.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Because at that point, you can take your 2 attacks and then let your dragon do something. Also, notably, the take aim ability from 15th level, once per turn, the Dragon Outrider may choose to re-roll 1 attack that misses. This does not state it has to be your attack.
Yeah.
You can re-roll your companion's attack as well. Busted.
So, you've got your tank build and you got your dex and accuracy build. Little crazy. Stark difference. I'm sure when we get into the companions a little bit more, we'll find niches as we go.
Yeah.
But right now, oh my God, it's feeling unbalanced. Love Outrider a lot.
Yeah. Outrider slaps me.
Mm-hmm.
Dragon Companion.
Let's talk about the companions that we can pick. First of all, we've got a whole table here that the Dragon Companion grows at by level.
Yeah. That's really interesting. Like your Dragon Companion levels up with you, basically.
Yeah, as if they were a class and subclass of their own.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
That is kind of actually a good way to think about what's going on here. What's notable is that at first level, they all get dark vision. Am I seeing that right?
Yes, you are.
Okay. Hit dice of a D12, by the way.
Yeah, they're chonky.
Yeah.
Which, I mean, they're dragons. I would hope so.
Yeah, I'm just looking at the way this is laid out here. At first level, you gain dark vision. It's a range of 60 feet. At 9th level, that increases to 90. At second, you get the breath attack. You can use an action to command your dragon companion to expel its breath attack. Any creature caught in its range must succeed on a saving throw, DC 8 plus proficiency plus dragon's constitution modifier appropriate to the type of dragon. On failure, they take 2d6 damage of the appropriate type or half on a success. This damage increases by a d6 each level after the second.
Each level?
Yeah.
Wow. I was gonna say like, okay, it starts low. Like that makes sense.
It's got to throw something specific at me for me to feel like this isn't broken. Let me get to it. This dragon's breath attack recharges during a short or long rest. That's exactly what I was looking for.
Okay, yeah. And also you have to use your whole action to do the breath attack, not sacrifice one of your attacks.
Yeah, you're correct about that. Yeah.
Okay.
All right. Not too crazy. It's talking about the types of dragons. Ruby, emerald, and opal dragons breath attacks begin as a 15-foot cone. Sapphire and obsidian dragon breath attacks begin as a 30-foot line. Let's remember that for later.
Yeah.
You get a size increase at third level. The dragon size increases from medium to large. Its walking speed increases by 5 feet. Fly speed increases by 10. In addition to the damage die for its bite, tail, and claw attacks increase by 1 die size. And at 15th level, its size increases from large to huge, and it gains the same additions. Honestly, medium to large at third level is generous. I'm not going to say it's busted.
It's good. It's really good.
It's earlier than I might have expected.
Basically, and I mean, I can understand that one because you can get a mount pretty easily in D&D.
Also, levels 3 and 15 are kind of far apart from each other.
Yes, they are. I definitely agree with that. I think it kind of showcases the like the scaling curve of dragon progression, because like it goes from like a hatchling to like a juvenile pretty quickly, and then it takes a little bit longer for it to go up from there. Also, at third level, your dragon companion's AC increases by 1 point. This increase happens again at 7th, 11th, and 17th level. What does your AC start at? The hatchling dragon companion is what you start with right there.
Yes. 15. Okay. So you go up to 19.
Nice.
15 base is nice. Third is the first increase.
Third is the first increase, yes. So you go to 16 AC at third level, which is pretty good, especially when you're considering that this functions as a mount.
Yeah.
Functions as basically a familiar.
It's doing a lot for you, man.
Yeah.
That combined with the speed of the HP increase.
Uh-huh.
Being a D12, that's nuts.
Yeah.
It's very, very good. Very strong.
The actions of the dragon companion are actually pretty fun too.
You get multi-attack, but it's dependent on your extra attack, of course.
Mm-hmm.
You get bite, tail, claw, and then your breath attack once per rest. Any type of rest. And you get dragon maneuvers, which we still haven't got to yet.
Oh yeah, man. The maneuvers are going to knock us on our ass, I'm sure. I just think it's cool that you get the bite, tail, and claw attack.
Yeah.
Because like it would be so easy for them to be like, well, you can only have 1 or 2 because it's not a full-fledged dragon. Right. But
I mean, importantly, they give you piercing, bludgeoning, and slashing damage, respectively. The options are nice. And they make sense.
That is very fair.
Ability score increases happen at 4th level, and then again at 8th, 12th, 16th, and 19th levels. Player may choose to increase one of the dragon's ability scores by 2 or 2 by 1 to a maximum of 20. That's
not this. You have your ability score increases, and so does the dragon.
Yeah.
That's a lot of abilities.
Should mention the hatchling dragon companion has fixed stats.
Yeah, you don't get to like
per its stat block here.
Adjust the stats.
That's
starting
16 strength, 12 dex, 14 con, 10 intelligence, 10 wisdom, 11 charisma.
Which is a pretty good like standard point buy spread.
It is, yeah. I just I wish there was a little I don't know.
Variety.
A little variety between the types of dragons that you get.
Yeah. And see, I think that's kind of where you can do a little bit of customizing as they grow based on what type of dragon you got. You can kind of make that choice because your dragon companion cannot gain feats. You can only do ability score increase. So at 4th, 8th, 12th, 16th, and 19th level, you get to steer the development of your dragon.
Yeah. Real quick, let's bring this together with the types of dragons you can get.
Yeah.
You get a ruby dragon, bright red color at a young age, eventually progressing toward a darker crimson later in life. Their breath is released in a fiery cone of intense heat, easily incinerating anything in its path. This breath attack requires a dex saving throw.
So that's a fire damage in a cone for that breath weapon.
Yes, it is.
That's cool.
And remember, both the cone and the line grow larger and longer, respectively.
Oh, that's right.
When was that again?
Oh my! Have we
Sixth
lost
level.
it?
Sixth level.
At 6th. Oh, okay.
Increases by 10 feet. This increase also happens at 10th, 14th, and 18th level.
Dang.
That's kind of wild.
6, 10, 14, 18. So you gain an additional 40 feet.
Yeah. By the end, yeah.
That's pretty good range.
That's pretty good, dude. Sapphire Dragon begins as the color of the sky, soft blue with flecks of cloudy white. But as they age, their scales shift into a deep oceanic blue. We start very light and get kind of darker as we age.
I like that.
That's good.
I like that.
Their breath manifests as a line of electrical energy, eventually gaining enough power to stop the heart of any living creature caught in its fury. The Sapphire Dragon's breath attack requires a dexterity saving throw. Emerald Dragon, as you might expect, begins a light grassy green, ages into the verdant green color of an untouched forest. The breath is released in a toxic cone of poisonous gas, poisonous enough to leave even the most potent enemies retching and gasping for air. The Emerald Dragon's breath attack requires a Constitution saving throw. Opal Dragon begins as a gleaming white, sometimes having phosphorescent flecks of light reds and greens. That's pretty. As they age, those phosphorescent flecks disappear and are replaced with gray, ashy undertones. The Opal Dragon's breath. I know, that's a little disappointing. I kind of wanted it to expand on that a little bit. Their breath is a cone of ice so frigid it freezes the very air inside it, and any living thing in the area may shatter from the sheer cold. The Opal Dragon's breath attack requires a Constitution save. Obsidian Dragon appears almost dark gray at birth, eventually growing into scales black as night. The Obsidian Dragon's breath is a heaving line of virulent acid, destructive enough at young ages to melt flesh and bone. At older ages, this acid is rumored to be able to melt stone or even metal. The Obsidian Dragon's breath attack requires a dex save.
Mm-hmm. So there's really only 5 options given to you in here for the Dragon Companion, which I get. I think it would be really cool, and this is something to take up with your DM again, obviously.
I know what you're going to say here, and I agree.
I'm sure you do, yeah. Specifically, if your DM is interested in going into like an epic levels campaign, you should be able to pick from any dragon.
Absolutely.
To be your companion.
I think so.
Sue me.
I want a chromatic guy.
I know, right?
Yeah.
I want to be able to have like a fucking baby brass dragon.
Yes.
Oh my God, yes.
And I don't think it's a huge ask, really.
No. I also think it would be
like you can use all these stats and stuff, you know, just give me the flavor, give me the damage types.
Exactly. I also think it would be badass for like later in your career if you are level 20 or higher, maybe your dragon, maybe you have turned it into a Dracolich. Maybe you've gone to the elemental plane of shadow and you've come back and your dragon is now a shadow dragon. Like, there's so much you can do with this because there are so many dragons. Dragons are my favorite. Did you guys know that?
Now, let me throw something just a little weird at you, okay?
Oh, okay.
I went back on purpose before getting to these.
Okay.
We're going to talk about shape change because at 5th level, the Dragon Companion gains the ability to change its form into a medium humanoid as an action.
What?
Curveball. Totally.
What?
The player chooses this form and the dragon may only assume the same form each time. In this form, your companion may use its claw and breath attack, loses its fly speed, and its walking speed is 30 feet. Its stats otherwise remain the same.
Bro! You get a dude!
You get a dude.
And
So-
you can, hold on, here's something else to consider.
Yeah.
This popped into my head. Go back to the Hatchling Dragon Companion stat block.
Mhm.
And notably under languages,
Yeah.
your dragon can fucking talk.
Mhm.
It knows Common and Draconic, which means when it turns into a dude, it can also talk.
Yeah.
Like you just gain an, oh my God, this is so cool.
I'm trying not to talk about Xenoblade 2.
Do it. Go.
It reminds me of, this isn't like a mechanic necessarily in game, but it is mentioned with the blades in Xenoblade 2 that when you awaken them, they reflect you in some type of way. It's a little inconsistent with how blades actually work in the game, but
Still cool.
it makes me feel like you could flavor this quite well, because the first time you do this, you pick what it's going to look like, and then that's what they look like every time they assume a humanoid form.
Right. Like there's no like, this time I want you to be a dwarf.
Yeah.
Like,
So it's like, I really would encourage a player, were I the DM, to think of like the first form that their mind goes to. Because this isn't maybe something I feel the player character would necessarily be aware of to pick. I want to know what their subconscious is picking.
I was gonna say, because it specifically says the player chooses this form. I love that idea.
Yeah.
That the character doesn't know.
I want to know what dead parent they're imprinting on their humanoid dragon.
Oof.
That's where I'm going with this.
Oh my God. Oh, even fucking worse. Could you imagine a dead loved one? Like,
Messy.
damn.
I think there's some room for some funny and cool stuff here, man.
Emotional damage. Because like, oh God, I'm thinking immediately of the widower adventurer that goes out and is trying to avenge the death of his wife.
Yeah, dude.
Has a dragon companion. Dragon is female. Dragon shape changes, looks like his wife.
Yeah. Yeah. This is a everlasting moral conundrum also for the life of the dragon.
Yeah.
Because like, what if people recognize it?
Yeah. And also, this is a really, really good story parachute for a DM. You have an NPC now who the party cannot get rid of, that you can just have that NPC wander off in the middle of the night and find something absolutely essential to your next plot point. Like, there's so much you can do as a DM with the dragon companion because it is sentient and intelligent.
This here, or coming back around to a question from earlier, this here is where we're really inviting the role play.
Yes. Oh my God. Yes. Role play.
I don't know what the fuck you just said.
Nothing. I was just fiending. Role play.
That's crazy. It spoke draconic to me.
Holy shit.
The last thing we need to mention is you get a breath attack. Oh, sorry. Two things, actually. You get a fly speed increase at 6th level and at 11th and 19th, all by 10 feet.
Okay.
And then we already kind of talked about the breath attack range increase.
Yeah.
So we're good there.
So good.
This actually really rounded out the class on its own, to be totally honest with you. Despite our gripes about more dragon types, which I honestly just allow that. Like if you're DMing for this, just allow that. Okay.
Yeah.
Be cool.
Allow your player's dragon companion to become an ancient dragon at some point.
Oh, wow.
At some point. I'm being generous. Later. They can have to reach level 40 first.
I'm saying you would need to become ancient.
Yeah. Yeah. That's another thing that I wish this class would do. As part of your bond with your dragon companion, increase your character's lifespan by a lot. This is also me pulling directly from Aragon. In Aragon, a dragon rider, because dragons live forever, a dragon rider, if they are like still in union with their dragon, will live as long as their dragon does, except unless they are killed in combat.
I don't think you got to do that.
It'd be so cool.
It would be incredible. It would be incredible. Don't get me wrong. But for one, and this is not my main motivation here, but it's unbalanced with the rest of everything.
No. Elves are a thing.
Elves don't live forever.
No,
they definitely don't live as long as dragons.
I'm not saying you have to live forever. I'm just saying
I can justify an extended lifespan.
Thank you.
That's
kind of what I was boiling it down to.
However, dragon companion NPCs in the game that have long since outlived their partner.
Yeah, absolutely. Hell, we have an entire book here full of legendary dragons.
Yeah.
Maybe some of them used to have a rider.
Yeah. I mean, we you know what? We kind of talked about it wasn't this situation exactly, but it was a similar thing with the alcoholic dragon. You know the one?
Yeah. Glitz.
Yeah, Glitz.
I mean, it writes its damn self at this point. Like, role play.
It's gonna be a reaction gif. Okay, it is time. We've waited long enough. It's time to talk about dragon maneuvers. You get your first one at 3rd level. So
actually, you get your first 3 at 3rd level.
Yes, sorry. Now these are divided into 3 tiers. We're going to go through in order, starting with tier 1. You get, if you wish, charging strike. This is when your dragon is in dragon form only. It makes specific note of that. Mm-hmm. As an action and while mounted, your dragon companion charges forward and you make a melee weapon attack. If the dragon moves at least 10 feet in a straight line towards the target and the attack hits, strike deals an additional 2d8 damage. I assume just of the weapon type.
Yeah.
If it hits, that creature must also make a strength saving throw against the dragon's save DC or fall prone. Remind me our dragon's save DC.
That is, I think it's, no, there's a maneuver DC somewhere back there.
It did, didn't it?
Maneuvers. The DC equals 8 plus your companion's strength modifier plus your proficiency bonus.
This is that one that scales twice. That's right. That's right.
Yep.
That's crazy, man. You're knocking shit prone a lot, even from the beginning. Coordinated flank. As a bonus action, while unmounted, you and your dragon flank a single opponent. If you and your dragon are within 5 feet of the same creature, all of your attacks on that creature have advantage until the beginning of your next turn.
Damn.
That's incredible.
And that does not have to be in dragon form. That can be in humanoid form.
That's funny. That's really funny. Especially considering you take your turn on the same initiative, man. Wow.
Also considering that, okay, here's another question for the DMs. Would you allow a shape-changed dragon companion humanoid to have attunement slots?
Oh.
Because if they're in humanoid form, you can give them armor and weapons.
Yeah. Then yes. I mean...
I would.
I mean, you need not be human to attune to an item, you know?
Right.
I see no reason not to allow that. Which is crazy.
It's insane.
That's really crazy. In fact, I would go as far as to say, like, you stay attuned to shit as a dragon if you have some method of holding onto your items.
I would say what probably wouldn't apply to that necessarily is armor and weapons.
Armor, yes, okay, I agree with that.
If you have like a legendary item, like a wondrous item or something else, absolutely keep it in dragon form. That's cool as shit. Yeah, I don't think you're going to be able to use your legendary longbow with claws. As cool as that would be. But again, coordinated flank, so fucking good.
Yep. Swipe the leg. This is dragon form only.
Swipe the leg.
As a bonus action, you may command your dragon to make a tail attack against a larger, smaller creature. That's pretty. Larger, smaller is pretty good.
That's pretty good. Yeah.
If it hits, the creature takes damage from the tail attack and must make a strength save against the dragon's save DC. On a failure, they are knocked prone. We're doing prone again.
Mm-hmm.
That's
Loving
fine.
the prone.
That's fine.
A lot of this class. I'm so sorry to interrupt again. A lot of this class would be absolutely broken if you go into legend epic levels for your campaign. If you go beyond level 20, you take 20 levels in Dragon Rider, in Outrider subclass, and then you take all the rest of your levels in Rogue. Sneak attack goes so fucking hard with all of these maneuvers, knocking things prone and giving you advantage.
Yeah, dude. This is good stuff.
Oh my God.
Let's highlight the differences real quick between charging strike and swipe the leg. Charging strike requires your whole action.
Yeah.
Swipe the leg only requires your bonus action. It's not even one of your dragon attacks.
Oh, you could do that first. No, it's not.
You could do this first.
You lead with swipe the leg.
As your bonus action, and then pour out both of your attacks.
Damn, son.
Yeah.
Okay.
If I'm anyone who's anyone, I'm taking this.
Yeah. Swipe the leg is real good.
You know what I think I'm doing is that I'm taking this if I'm Outrider, and I'm taking maybe charging strike if I'm Knight.
Yeah.
I think that's my angle.
Especially if you have invoke prey, whatever the hell that was, where you've like targeted your dragon at somebody.
Yeah,
as the Dragon Knight.
Yeah, those stack like crazy.
Charging strike on there. You're doing a lot of extra damage dice. That's a big hit.
Yes.
Okay, well, this is redeeming Dragon Knight for me, I gotta say. I don't like it as much as Outrider still, because Outrider is my shit.
I mean, Outrider swipe the leg is still like, insane.
It's still good.
Knight swipe the leg is insane.
Yeah. That's the thing. All of these are good, like objectively good.
Yeah.
There's just some that like,
I'm finding flavor patterns is I think what I'm getting at.
Yes, absolutely.
Take the hit. As a reaction when hit by an attack, you can command your dragon to take the hit for you. Oh my God. I don't want to do that. Or you can take the hit for your companion. Okay, yeah. I get you. You can take the hit for your companion instead. Your dragon companion must be within 5 feet of you to use this maneuver.
I'm loving the flavor of this, especially at like higher levels. Imagine if you're mounted on your companion, you're flying, someone shoots a fucking arrow at you or launches a spell, and your dragon just rolls to the side and takes it.
Yeah, there's a lot of ways to use this.
Yep.
It's good. This is cool also if you've got coordinated flank as well.
Oh, yeah.
Because you already got to be...
And if you're in humanoid form.
Yeah, you already got to be within 5 feet, not of each other, but of the same enemy, which is close, to use that. And then you could pop this as a reaction.
Flank?
Yes.
Oh, yeah. Oh, I see what you're saying. Yeah. Yep.
And then if you're close enough, after the fact, you could use this reaction. Like shortly thereafter,
That's so good. And that's just a reaction.
Two fellas fighting in tandem.
That's just a reaction.
Yep.
That's so good. See, that's something that I kind of wish were like a standard mechanic in the game.
Yeah, just a feat.
Yeah. Where you could just like take the hit for somebody. That's so good. It's so good.
Evasive maneuver is dragon form only again. As a bonus action and while riding your dragon, you may take the dodge action.
Bonus action.
Mounted dodge action. Bonus action.
Oh. And it applies to you and your companion.
Both
of these.
That's crazy.
Wow.
That's not even your like You also still have your dragon's bonus action. It's just on your bonus action.
Oh my god!
Your dragon doesn't get a bonus action.
I don't think it does.
It doesn't get a bonus action.
I mean,
it's your bonus action and also your dragon's bonus.
But
action.
still, that's pretty fucking good.
Dragon form only once again. Create an opening. You create an opening for your allies to escape by commanding your companion to create a massive gust of wind with their wings. You know what? It's interesting that this is the first time this is coming up. I'll be honest with you.
The wings?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Any mention of the wings? Huh. Using your reaction, create an opening allows allies within 20 feet of your dragon companion to move away from an enemy without incurring attacks of opportunity.
That's cool as hell.
Very good.
Dragon Rider support.
Mm-hmm. Yes, absolutely.
Because again, our favorite thing ever to say on this podcast, positional advantage, motherfuckers.
Baby. For that reason, I'm hard pressed not to take this.
Yeah, it's so good.
In fact, I think just looking so far at this point, if I'm picking my first one, I'm between swipe the leg and create an opening.
I think it really depends on.
Man, I don't know. These are actually also good. I'm liking them all.
Yeah,
because take the hit is really good. It's really good.
It's so hard to choose. So hard to choose, and that is the mark of an incredible class.
It is, yeah. If I'm I'm getting so in the weeds here, man. If I'm optimizing that choice again, I think if I'm any sort of tank, if I'm tanky cleric especially, I'm taking take the hit.
Yeah. You
know,
especially if you're the Dragon Knight subclass, which gives you proficiency in heavy armor. You could be a full plate mail armored Dragon Rider.
Yeah, I'm getting it. Why am I talking about multi-classing? I shouldn't get that far into this.
Oh, no, I mean, the multi-class could go hard, but also
I just like the concept of taking it all the way. You know.
Yeah.
I don't think I want a multi-class with this. I would certainly throw multi-classes at players.
See, that's the thing. The problem with this is there's so much that lends itself to a really fucking cool multi-class with other classes.
Yeah.
But a lot of that happens at high enough level that it's not worth going into another class.
Right, yeah.
Which is why I'm talking about epic levels. Because I want to hit level 20 in Dragon Rider, and then you can go into something stupid and broken.
I hear you.
And combo off.
Yeah, I definitely hear you there. What did I leave off on? Create an opening. Okay, bolster defenses next. This is the first one that requires Knight form. Requires Knight subclass.
Mm-hmm.
Knight only maneuver. Your bond with your companion enhances your natural defenses. As a bonus action, you may bolster your defenses, increasing your AC by an amount equal to your dragon's constitution modifier until the beginning of your next turn. That's kind of good, dude. Because can't you bust the hell out of your dragons?
You could hardcore all the way to the end.
You get a lot of control.
Constitution on the dragon.
You get a lot of control over ability scores.
Yeah.
Throughout the dragon's life. So if you're you could optimize for this really hard.
You can. The other thing I was thinking, you can still take feats. Imagine you have taken heavy armor master, which reduces bludgeoning, piercing, slashing damage by 3 while you're wearing heavy armor. And then you've taken sentinel.
I like the way you're thinking.
Mm-hmm. You have sentinel, which means that you can essentially hold the line, keep a very dangerous melee attacker close to you, and you can continue using bolstered defense for a while.
Knight is really happening for you, isn't it?
Knight is gaining its footing on the pedestal.
Yeah.
This is not, here's the thing. This is not my favorite play style.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. It wouldn't be my pick either.
Yeah. I have gone outside of my comfort zone to play Ito, who is essentially the Rune Knight version of this.
Yeah.
But I do love it. And there are, now that we've gotten into the maneuvers and there are ones that are exclusive to Knight, I see exactly what your role is. I see exactly what you're trying to build.
Yeah. Definitely. We have so many more. This is an Outrider one. Scan the perimeter. You may use a bonus action to scan the area. Any invisible or hidden creatures within 60 feet are revealed only to you until the beginning of your next turn. Sorry.
That's cool. That is extremely niche.
I don't... It is really niche. I don't...
Well, okay, invisible or hidden. That's
the thing, man.
Distinction.
Yeah.
Because I was thinking just hidden, invisible. Not always are you going to be fighting things that are invisible. This, I think, legitimately is what I was saying was missing earlier from the class when I mentioned that you don't have very many non-combat abilities.
Yeah.
If you as an Outrider Dragon Rider can walk into a building and be like, ping, there's someone hiding behind that chest.
Yeah. And I really think you have to allow non-combat use here to be like, I am actively scanning the perimeter.
Right.
You know?
But it does still also help in combat. As your bonus action, you can throw that out there.
Yeah.
You become a rogue's nightmare.
Yes.
Worst nightmare.
You really do.
You just fucking show up and you're like, I see you.
You've got wall hacks.
You have wall hacks. You hit the fucking Widowmaker ultimate and walk into combat.
Yeah. That's all right, dude. We've finally reached tier 2. These are maneuvers that you get access to at level 5 that require 2 points to use.
Yeah, notably, all of those tier 1 maneuvers, they only cost 1 maneuver point.
Yeah, that's really good, man.
That's really good.
I mean, to be honest, I think that's more use than you get out of your sorcery points.
That is astronomically more use than you get out of sorcery points.
Yeah.
Because sorcery points, you can really only use them, with a few exceptions, when you're casting.
Mm-hmm.
This is incredible. Yeah, tier 2, these require 2 points instead of 1.
Dragon drop, dragon form only. This is going to be Ridley, isn't it? If your companion makes a bite attack against a medium or smaller creature and the attack hits, you may use dragon drop to attempt to trap the creature in your companion's mouth. The creature must succeed on a strength saving throw against the dragon's save DC, or it is grappled and restrained. The dragon may move at half movement speed with the creature in its mouth and may use a bonus action to release it. The grappled creature must use an action and succeed on a strength saving throw to free itself. Brutal.
Yeah. Immediately, my mind goes to, is there any way we can maneuver this fight so that it's happening near the mouth of an active volcano?
Jesus.
Or a very large cliff. I'm immediately going all right, let's find all the environmental hazards and throw people in them.
For a couple of bitches who love positional advantage, this is offering us quite a lot.
Yeah.
This is offering us quite a bit of control.
And worst case scenario, you get to higher levels. Your dragon has a lot more speed. You're an Outrider. You've activated the thing that doubles your speed.
Mm-hmm.
You grab somebody, pick them up in your mouth. Pick them up, fly straight up, and then let go.
Yep.
It's as beautiful as that.
Congratulations, you've committed a murder. Holy God, man. Channeled breath. Your connection to your dragon companion allows them to channel their breath attack through your weapon.
Ooh!
Okay, Aragon.
They ate. No crumbs were left behind.
Wow. As an action, you may make all creatures in a 15-foot cone in front of you make a saving throw against your dragon's breath attack. This is sick. This is sick. Oh, no. This is cool. God. On failure, they take 4d8 damage of that type or half damage on a success. You may spend additional maneuver points to increase this damage by an additional 1d8 per 2 maneuver points spent.
Shit. Okay.
Wow.
So they're allowing you to scale that with your dragon scale breath.
I have to point something out. You do not, you can do this yourself as the PC.
Yep.
You do not need to use your dragon's action here. Not that it matters. But you also,
I think I see where you're going.
You also don't need to be anywhere near your dragon to do this.
The other thing, this doesn't take up your dragon's breath weapon.
No, not at all.
You can just do this shit. I'm imagining, and this is a little bit of tweaking and a little bit of flavor, because it specifically says cone on here. But I'm imagining.
I'm sure it's line and cone depending.
I would love that so much, because imagine, if you will, you are a dragon rider outrider. I'm harping on this because these are the stealthy ones. And you have a longbow and you are flying in on your dragon. You jump off as your dragon enters combat, makes a huge scene, causes a ruckus. People have not yet realized you're not on the dragon. You emerge from the tree line with the bow and arrow, and you fire off a line of your dragon's electricity breath weapon.
I see. This has left an incredible amount of room for interpretation, because it just says your weapon. It doesn't say what kind of. It doesn't specify a kind of weapon.
Also, ooh, god damn it! I'm gonna have to make a knight, a dragon rider knight with a warhammer.
Oh wow!
You just bring that shit down, and it just erupts.
Yeah, man. Oh shoot!
Fuck me.
This is a good one, dude. This is a really good one. 4d8 is
nothing to sneeze at.
It's quite good, especially considering, like, you know, early on when you first get the breath attack as a hatchling, it's 2d6, right?
Right.
Now scales like crazy, as we mentioned earlier, but
you do.
Any situation where you're using this in this manner is so good.
And again,
this
doesn't use your dragon's breath weapon. They still have that charge.
Yeah.
So you can just, for as long as you have maneuver points, you can draw from their energy.
Yeah.
Continue firing breath weapons off, and then your dragon uses theirs.
Mm-hmm. And again, have to reiterate, like, really let your players use any dragon.
Oh my god, yes. Please, God.
Like they I like this ability, dude. I'm taking this no matter what. No matter what, dude.
No, that's like an auto
There's
grab.
too much potential.
That's an auto grab.
Wow, okay. Fury strikes, dragon form only. As an action, your dragon companion unleashes a bite and 2 claw attacks in a flurry. If all 3 hit, you regain 1 maneuver point.
Jesus.
What the hell?
Oh my god.
That's cool.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, I love resource gain after the fact.
Action economy, baby.
Damn. Okay.
Guys, we like dragons. Oh my god.
Diving strike, also dragon form only. As an action, you may dismount your companion in midair and make an attack with advantage against an opponent in your path to the ground. If the attack hits, it deals normal damage and an additional amount of damage equal to the fall damage you would typically take from the fall, which you don't, I think. Which you
would typically take.
What typically is working hard here.
Not.
I think that means you don't.
Oh, no, wait. Continue reading.
Okay, yeah, I see you. When you land, you must make a dex saving throw. On a success, you take no damage from the fall. Wow. On a failure, you take half damage. The save DC is 15 and increases by 1 for every 10 feet above 50. Fair enough.
Yeah. But
that's
again,
fair enough. Half on a fail is nuts, though.
If you are playing an outrider who prioritizes dex, this is not hard.
No, not really. Not really at all, actually.
Oh my god.
And if you're playing a knight, you probably can take the damage.
Right.
Half even.
Can you imagine? God fucking damn it. I have to make a knight now. You activate Aura of Dominance while you're flying.
Oh, gee.
For 1 minute, you have resistance to all damage,
Man.
and then you jump off your fucking dragon.
I can imagine that, and I'm imagining it.
I'm imagining that so hard.
This is good. This is good. I'm fantasizing it. Okay?
I'm feeling the vision.
Oh, plunging attack is the most reliable move in the game, bro.
Oh.
Manifestation. This is night only. Speaking of night, your draconic connection allows you to manifest a physical form of the dragon on your body.
What?
This is Edo as fuck, dude.
Oh, shit.
As a bonus action, you may strike out with the manifestation of a draconic claw, dealing 1d10 plus your strength modifier slashing damage, and an additional 1d8 of your dragon companion's respective elemental damage.
Damn.
Oh, that's sexy, dude. You may spend additional maneuver points to increase the elemental damage dealt by an additional 1d8 per 2 maneuver points spent.
Damn. So you just like manifest claw.
It's like a stand. It's a JoJo stand.
Oh my God, it
of
is.
Your dragon.
It is.
How do you feel about that versus channel breath, though?
This is cool. Flavor wise, that's so fucking cool.
Yeah.
But channel breath is actually legitimately
I do also think if it's a choice, then I'm taking channel breath. Mm-hmm. I think you're right. There's just...
Unless...
I'm not going to say there's more versatility because this is a bonus action.
Yeah, I was just about to say, this is a bonus action. Also, what this is a roleplay heavy scenario in which you are trapped without your armor, without your weapons.
Yeah.
I think that would
look
be a cool
at how specific we're needing to get here, like to justify picking.
Yeah. No, you're right. I mean, there would be cool usages for it.
Yeah, plenty for sure.
But if it's heads or tails, I'm going with channel breath every time.
Yeah, I think so.
Well, that's 1 point against the knight.
I don't know if it's a point against the knight. I mean,
no, it's just
like,
a point not in the knight's favor.
Yeah.
In this situation. Not in the knight exclusive.
And the thing is, this is still great.
Yeah.
This ability is still great.
But the fact that we're saying I would never take this in comparison to the other one shows you just how good that other one is.
Am I missing something, though? D10 plus your strength modifier slashing damage and an additional D8 of your dragon.
No, you're not.
No.
It's just, it doesn't do as much as channel breath.
That is a lot of damage on a bonus action, though. Like, actually, that's kind of a lot of damage on a bonus action.
That is an incredible amount of damage for a bonus action.
And then you get the increase of a D8 per 2 maneuver points spent. Just like with channel breath, it's actually the same amount between those two for the increase.
Yeah.
And personally, I can't see myself increasing that very often because that's a bit of a heavy cost.
It is.
I wish it were 1.
Yeah, okay, here's the thing. The split payoff between channel breath and manifestation for night is channeled breath takes up your whole action.
Yeah.
You do not get your multiple attacks.
No.
Night manifestation gives you essentially a third attack.
That's true.
So this is kind of actually dependent on how good your weapon is.
It's fully build dependent.
Right. Are you making the conscious decision to do more with your weapon than you are to do with like big flashy actions? Because I mean, if you got like a legendary Warhammer or legendary whatever, and you're swinging that shit around and it's actually doing more for you than, or comparable amounts to channeled breath.
Yeah.
Then I would take manifestation.
Yeah. No, that's fair. Oh, if it came time for me to pick with this thing, I would be hard pressed.
We would spend a lot of time figuring this one out.
It would be a life altering decision, dude. and of course, remember amongst all of this that you've got the mastery one.
The what?
You master a maneuver.
Oh, Jesus ass Christ. I forgot about that.
You get a signature maneuver. That's at 10th level. It takes a while to get to a signature maneuver, but you choose a tier 1.
It's a tier 1 only, though.
Well,
perfected maneuver.
Yeah, never mind. It stays tier 1. Ain't nobody.
Perfected maneuvers, though.
Are you serious?
Yeah. 18th level, your previously chosen signature maneuver is perfected. No longer costs maneuver points at all.
Any tier.
In addition, you select a maneuver from another tier, any tier to be your second signature maneuver.
This can hang with 2024 so well.
Yeah. Now, I think what that means is the second one that you choose, you can only use for free once per short or long rest. And the first one that you chose becomes free forever.
I see.
I think that's what it means.
You're previously chosen. Like. I think you're right about that. I think that's actually exactly what that means.
But that's still not fucking bad.
Yeah.
If you're a knight and you take fucking
let's get through tier 3 and then revisit this because this applies to tier 3 as well.
Oh God, it does. Fuck.
We're not done.
Fuck.
We're not done.
Wait, there's still another one in tier 2 as well. There's another Outrider.
There's a manifestation for Outrider instead of Knight. Okay. Your Draconic Connection allows you to manifest a physical form of the dragon on your own body. Again, as a bonus action, Draconic Wings burst from your back. You gain a fly speed equal to that of your companion for 1 minute. Jesus. Uh-oh. That's pretty cool.
I'm so sorry that fucking guy. Jesus.
Oh no. Now it depends on how you use it. I don't know. I'm trying to scale it with the other ones. It depends on how you use it. God damn it, man.
There's crashing.
Oh no.
Bro is crashing the fuck out right now.
Oh no. You got to plan so much out.
Uh-huh. No, dude. Okay, so all right. So when I create a character, I start at level 20 and work backwards.
Yeah.
This is why, motherfuckers.
Yeah.
We start at level 20 and work backwards because you need to pick your fucking manifestations so that you know what you're doing, so that you know what to take at lower levels, so that you know how to be a dragon rider at higher levels and have all the things that do all the things correctly and all mash together and flow to make you fucking unstoppable force of nature.
This should serve as yet another call to action for this technique, you know, of creating. You're not min-maxing. You don't have to min-max to make good use of this.
I would.
No, I'm saying you don't have to. Like you don't have to be the kind of min-maxer that you are. You don't have to have a very good reason to build a level 20 version of what you imagine your character as and then work backwards.
Yeah.
You find a couple key things in there that you're creating a roadmap for yourself. Mm-hmm. It doesn't have to be perfect. You just find yourself a couple of things that you're really going to want your character to do.
Yeah.
I'm saying this to myself also because I don't do this. And then work toward it. Have a plan. Change the plan if necessary, but have a plan.
Your plan has to be adaptable.
Yeah. And it is always, no matter what.
Mm-hmm.
Now we can get into tier 3. These are maneuvers that require 5 points to use.
These are the big ones.
And you gain access to these at level 10. Okay. Ravage, dragon form only. If your companion makes a bite attack at a creature and the attack hits, you may use Ravage to force the creature to make a strength saving throw against your companion's save DC. On a failure, they take the bite damage and an additional 10 d6 slashing damage as your companion spins viciously and tears flesh from bone.
Holy shit.
Well, that's messy.
Might I draw your attention
for
a moment to the fact that it says if your companion makes a bite attack and the attack hits, then you may use Ravage.
Yeah, you're right about that. You don't miss the opportunity here.
No, you don't have to declare this and then whiff.
Uh-huh. Yeah, that is important.
Mm-hmm.
And by this point in time, your save DC is nuts.
Yeah.
Good luck. Good luck, dude.
Oh my God. I'm glad that costs 5 points.
Mm-hmm. Here's recharge. You may use an action to funnel energy into your companion to immediately recharge their breath attack.
Fuck. Sure. Why not?
Why not, man?
It's good.
Good enough. It's simple enough, and it totally makes sense to have that here.
It's enough slices.
I actually think that makes perfect sense for a tier 3 ability at the cost of 5 points.
Yeah.
Too. Like,
no, it's great.
Yeah, you can do that twice at level 10. Okay.
You expend some of your energy to give your companion back their energy.
Yeah.
It's good. It's so good.
Unleash. As an action, you release the bond which connects you to your dragon companion. I don't want to do that. Causing your companion to enter a primal draconic fury. Roll a new initiative for your companion.
Oh,
interesting.
God.
For 1 minute, the companion operates on that initiative and may take 2 attacks per attack action. Oh, wow. In addition, your companion's attacks deal an additional weapon die of damage. For the duration, the companion's breath attack recharges on a 5 or higher d6 roll.
You basically just release your dragon to become an actual stat block dragon.
Dude. Whoa. At the end of the minute, the companion's breath attack may not be used again until a short or long rest, and you may make a DC 12 you must make a DC 12 animal handling check. On failure, the companion becomes hostile towards you and your allies until you use an action to succeed on the animal handling check.
So you just like let your dragon Hulk out.
Oh, man. Yeah, you do. You do. He becomes the Incredible Drolk.
One of these can become a signature maneuver.
Yeah. Sure can.
That's disgusting.
Sure can. 3x per day with no cost. Which one are you doing?
Ravage.
Sure.
It's Ravage. It's got to be Ravage. And it doesn't have to be. I shouldn't say that. Recharge would be a fun one.
I think Recharge is crazy.
You really like your dragon's breath attack.
I think if you pick Unleash here for your signature, you're an insane person.
You are absolutely fucking wild for that.
You're a liability in the party. You're gonna get someone killed, dude.
Oh my God.
Now, DC 12 is low.
Yeah.
But I'm saying
one day you're going to roll a 1.
Yeah.
And then one of your party members who's like, we made it, guys, we made it. And then your dragon's just going to come up behind them and just. And that's going to be it for Bing Bong.
That's going to be it for Bing Bong. Jesus. Oh no, Bing Bong.
Bing Bong. Oh man. Well, but here's the other thing.
Yes.
Do we take a tier 3 as the second signature?
So I mean,
they're expensive for action economy. It would make the most sense, but for your character's build,
I think you can get more benefit out of some of the 2s.
Yeah, I think
to be honest with you, these are all good. And when you find the opportunity for any of the 3s, they're those are maneuver points well spent.
They're well worth the 5 points.
I don't think you're finding those opportunities necessarily enough unless it's Recharge.
Recharge would be the one that I would say you'd be able to trigger that the most consistently.
I think that's the level 3 that you're assigning as your signature move, if any of them, personally.
See,
I only say that because
I'm still leaning toward Ravage, but I see what you're talking
I hear you. I only say that because it's slashing damage.
Yeah.
And as you go, like you're going to find more and more shit that's resistant to that.
That's fair. But I don't know, man. 10d6.
It is good.
That's
good. I wouldn't blame anyone for picking that.
Yeah. Honestly, though, I think for me, my secondary signature maneuver, I think, is probably Diving Strike.
Diving Strike. Interesting. Okay.
because that is
Really?
that is my play style. I want to play an Outrider Dragon Rider. I want to be stealthy as fuck. I want to fly around. I want to positional advantage the fuck out of this. I want to have a like a dex based sword that I can use or a longbow. I want to be able to fly around, chunk some damage in from with the longbow.
Yeah.
And then when something or someone needs to be disrupted, diving strike, bring my dragon down after me.
Yep.
And then we are in the fight.
You said positional advantage, and I immediately understood. This is an incredible movement option.
Yeah. Because then the other thing you can do, because I'm playing out a whole combat in my head right now. You diving strike, you fall down, you bring your dragon down with you, shape change. They turn into humanoid form.
Yeah.
And now there are 2 additional combatants out of nowhere on the field.
How long does it take to mount? Is that an action?
No. Once you get to higher levels and you have the improved saddle, it takes 5 feet of movement.
That's right. Dog.
Yeah.
I mean, you get... no matter what you're picking, but especially with Outrider, you're getting unbelievable movement.
Yeah.
I mean,
especially with the level 19, the aura.
Shit, man.
Whatever that was called.
Dragonfly so fast. Even just the base 20 feet of the hatchling is
it's not bad.
It's not bad. That's 20 feet in the air. If you want.
Well, it can't fly until later. So it has.
That's true. It
has a higher.
So when it does fly, you're getting insane use out of this.
Yeah. Well, you can't. Sorry, it can fly. You cannot ride it flying. Yes.
I'm thinking of like how you would optimize diving strike, like how quickly you can.
Oh yeah, how quickly can we make this happen?
Do 2 in a row.
Oh
right.
Yeah.
And honestly, I think it's turn to turn. Right.
I think so. Here's the thing. I think...
Which looks so funny in my head.
That would actually be insane. Especially if you have Aura of Agility activated. You dive. Dragon comes down after you. Picks you up. You take 5 feet of your movement.
Yeah.
And then take the rest of the dragons. Like what is it? Like 90? No, more than that. It would be like 100 plus at that point. Fly back up. Diving strike again.
Yeah. Oh, it's so funny.
Then honestly, I think the only other question would be, which one do you take as your tier 1 that becomes perfected?
I mean, is it not? Well, shit. Okay.
I'm thinking, for me, again, this is for my Outrider that I'm building in my head right now. It's either coordinated flank or take the hit.
Take the hit is a really good pick here. Reaction when hit by his hack, you command your dragon to take the hit for you, or you take the hit for them. There's a lot of utility there, man.
Yeah.
A lot of options.
But
whole lot going on.
Yeah, specifically for that, like, dive in and then be in combat playstyle, though. Coordinated flank and take the hit are the 2 that make the most sense. Because coordinated flank, then all of your attacks have advantage until the beginning of your next turn. You hit that. There's so much you can do with it.
Yeah, there is.
But if we're talking about the perfected one that costs no maneuver points, I'm wondering if maybe I just leave those as 1 point and I don't worry about it and I go for something like swipe the leg.
Yeah, because you can do that a lot, man.
Yeah, you could do that a lot.
Like,
no, actually, I know what I would do.
What you doing?
Evasive maneuvers. As a bonus action and while riding your dragon, you take the dodge action.
Oh, Lord.
Applies to both you and your companion.
For this Outrider ability, you've been considering, actually, no matter what, this is nuts.
Yeah.
That's a really good pick.
Because, like, obviously I'm not going to be mounted on my dragon all the time.
No.
But anytime I am, as a bonus action, I get the dodge action. I get to be harder to hit.
Yeah. Yeah.
Especially then if you're really trying to be a sneaky motherfucker, bonus action dodge for free, and then use your action to hide. Then they have to go looking for you, and it's still harder for them to hit you.
Oh, God. The tanky night build bolster defense mastery is crazy. You're also not getting hit.
Yeah. Now, imagine, if you will, Sam. Imagine. Brothers. 2 dragon riders.
Oh, yeah.
One a knight, one an outrider.
Mm-hmm.
When are we doing this?
Oh, man, I hear you. There's no way for Southern Comfort, right?
I wish, but no. We with all the love in the world, we cannot do that to Justin in his first campaign.
No. No, we really can't.
Poor guy would be devastated. And that's nothing against Justin. This is, you don't do this to a first-time DM.
Yeah.
This is like, I would want to do this if someone were like, hey guys, who wants to do like a level 21 shot? I'd be like, yes.
Yeah.
Dragon Rider. And they'd be like, Skyler, I'm not going to let you do that because that's too OP for you.
Yeah.
And I'd be like, no, it's a class. It's in a book. It's a class.
Yeah.
It exists. You're going to let me have a dragon.
We got a lot to think about here, man.
There's so much. This has been a very long episode.
It has. Totally worth it.
Absolutely. Absolutely worth it.
I think we definitely needed to just like sit down and scream about this for a while. We needed to freak out, man.
So much freaking out. We'll come back next time and talk about fucking aerial combat and airships, because that's another thing that's in this book.
Yeah.
Which is incredible. Also, there's some magic items and some other shit.
And some dragons you could just use as monsters in any campaign. Doesn't have to be a big bad dragon rider campaign.
Not the crazy legendary.
Look at this Drake
either.
of Displacement. It's a displacer beast, but it's a Drake.
It's fucking wild.
What do you think of that shit?
That's crazy. All right, well, I'm going to go daydream about my Outrider again.
Yeah. Hey, listen, if you came up with any cool music earlier that you think needs to go in the soundtrack that we've summoned greatly.
Yes.
Summon Greater soundtrack.
We got there.
Send that shit over. Christ. summongreaterpod@gmail.com, or of course summongreaterpod on Bluesky.
Hell yeah. And as always, interact with videos, like, comment, subscribe. We appreciate you guys. Love the crap out of you.
If you got content like this that you need us to cover, that you need us to freak out about, I think I kind of want to do more stuff like this.
There are other books from that same line, the Game Master's book.
Good, because we need to dig in a little bit. Mm-hmm. You know?
Yeah.
There was a period of time where we were really hitting the third-party content hard, and I think maybe we've started up a new era.
I know. I want to continue doing that. I also want to continue doing more homebrew shit. God, we have so many options, and I'm so excited.
Yeah.
The future is bright, ladies and gentlemen.
Hey, thank you so much for watching. We're going to see you next time with more dragons.
More dragons and probably a dungeon or two.
At least one.
Yeah.
See ya.